So there are many factors affecting the rate of chemical reactions, and they are listed here. We will look at each one of them one at a time, starting with the first one, which says the structure of the reacting species. Now, ultimately, all of them have to do with the activation energy. So, first one, the structure of reacting species. If the reacting species are oppositely charged, one is positive and the other is negative, then they can easily come closer together because opposite charges attract. Hence, the activation energy leading to formation of the product is low, so the rate of the reaction is fast. If the ions are of the same charge, the reaction will not happen at all because the activation energy is humongous. As they come closer, there is a repulsion between the two. When it comes to covalent compounds, if the bonds that need to be broken require very low energy to break, then the activation energy will also be low. But if the amount of energy required to break those bonds is great, then the activation energy would be high as well. So that's your first factor. Basically, the thing to remember here is oppositely charged species will react faster than covalent compounds, and same charged species will not react at all. Now, what about the shape and orientation, the molecular shape and orientation? If you have two molecules which are going to react, and if you have a choice whether one of the molecules could be small or large, while the other one is the same size, two molecules of smaller size will react much more quicker and easily than a large molecule can react. The reason is because the large molecule will obstruct the side where reaction happens. Not only is it the shape but also the orientation. A reaction requires that the molecules orient themselves in the right way. For example, if a collision happens at 60 miles an hour, where two cars are coming towards each other at 60 miles an hour, and the collision is head on, then the collision, basically they are colliding at 120 miles an hour and it's a very devastating accident. But what if two cars collide on the side, on by the doors, the car doors? Then it might scratch the cars and the cars may be very badly damaged, but it may not necessarily result in death. So it matters what kind of a orientation the collision happens in, even if they collide at very high energy, at very high speed. So if they are not going to orient in the correct direction, in the correct form for the reaction to happen, the reaction will not happen. Then the concentration of reactants. As the concentration goes up, the rate will go up. And this might be one of the factors which doesn't directly affect the activation energy, but because we know that in the molecular kinetic theory, for the reactions to happen, we saw how the molecules collide randomly. However, if there is a very high concentration of the reactants, then those random collisions become more frequent. They will happen at a greater rate because they just run into each other more often. Hence, they have more chances of collisions with the right orientation, and so reaction will happen. Temperature of reactants. Again, just like when the concentration goes up, the rates go up. Similarly, when the temperature goes up, the rate goes up as well. How does temperature affect the rate? Increase in temperature increases the speed with which the molecules are moving around. The higher the temperature, the faster they move, as we learned in gas laws. And so, if they are moving around faster, they will run into each other quicker, and then the reaction can happen if the orientation is correct. Again, the temperature doesn't directly affect the activation energy. Physical state of reactants. So we have three states: solid, liquid, and gases. Reactions will happen the slowest in solids because the particles are fixed next to each other, they cannot move about. You may think that they may happen the fastest in gases because they move very fast. However, even though they move very fast, they are very far away from each other, as we learned in the kinetic theory of gases, the kinetic molecular theory of gases. So the collisions are very infrequent. But if they are in the liquid state, they do move about and they are close enough for them to react. This is why we prefer to carry out reactions in the liquid state. And most of chemistry is pertains to liquid chemistry, or more specifically aqueous chemistry, for that reason. Finally, the presence of a catalyst. We do not know what a catalyst is so far, but a catalyst is simply a substance that lowers the activation energy. How exactly it does that is not something we will deal with in this course. But if this is the original reaction with this high activation energy curve, if you have a catalyst present, it will lower the activation energy, which means more molecules can jump through this hoop. And the more they can jump through it, the faster it will happen. A lot of molecules here may try to go forward, but this may just be too high and they just do not have enough energy to climb this high point and go across. But here more percent of the total body of molecules can do that, and so the reaction will happen quickly. Sometimes the catalyst shows an alternative pathway for product formation. So for example, here we have a solid phase catalyst, a reaction between hydrogen gas and nitrogen gas to produce ammonia, a fertilizer. That this particular reaction is very important, known as the Haber process, which is the synthesis of ammonia. Now, before this process was discovered, it was very difficult to produce ammonia, and with the increase in the production of ammonia was the greater number of population of the world was supported, because ammonia is one of the precursors to fertilizers. And so if we have a surface, and this is a specific solid surface, on that surface the reaction happens where the solid surface binds the molecules of nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas and breaks the bonds between them. Then they react with each other there, and then they are let go, and then we proceed with the next set of molecules. Without this catalyst, they may randomly run into each other with the right orientation for the reaction to happen. And as you see, you have 1 and 2 and 3 H2s reacting to produce 2 NH3. So the orientation and the fact that you have so many molecules running into each other randomly is just not very likely to happen. Hence, we get very little amount of ammonia generated. Even though this may be a thermodynamically possible reaction, a spontaneous reaction, just the rate may be too low. But by introducing this catalyst, we can increase the rate of the reaction. So these are the few ways by which we increase the rate of a chemical reaction.